Hey everybody, welcome back to DeHaven Family Farm. Thank you for joining me for today's video. Today I'm going to share with you a new piece of equipment that I bought. I think you're going to be shocked by what I purchased. It is a skid steer, and I think you're going to be really surprised at what you see here today. The first part of the video, we're going to go and just look around and look at the machine. So if you're just interested in that, that'll be coming up here in just a second. The second part of this video, I'm going to try and keep it short, but the second part of the video is going to be the explanation as to how I got to this machine. So if you're interested in that, stay tuned towards the end, and I'll have a little explanation for you, all right? Don't forget to subscribe and hit the thumbs up as well, please. All right, guys, here it is. New Holland L220. I'm unfortunately having to film this inside. It is a sunny day out, but there's a lot of wind out there, so I felt it better just to go ahead and film this inside. This is a used machine, but it is not a heavily used machine. I bought it from Messick's Farm Equipment down in Elizabethtown at their main location. They had several machines come back in from snow lease, and this happened to be one of the machines. It does not have very many hours on it at all. You know, this past winter we really didn't have a whole lot of snow, so the machine did not get used a lot. So I was able to get a lot of the benefits of a new machine, such as a 3-year warranty and things, but actually save thousands and thousands of dollars because technically it was used. But we'll take a quick walk around the machine here. This has the larger tires on it, the 12/16/5s. It does have the high flow on it, which I don't really care about because I don't run a lot of attachments. Of course, super boom design. I did have the optional weight kit added on both sides. Not really sure how much those weigh a piece. Probably. It does have the hydraulic quick attach, which is something that I really missed on the last Kubota machine I had. Cab, heat and air, and there's some changes inside the cab that we're going to take a look at here. So before we get to the inside of the cab, I thought I'd just go over a couple quick specs of the machine. This is actually a 2019 model, again, L220. I believe it's the largest small framed machine that New Holland makes. I think when you jump up to the next size, it is a longer wheelbase, a little bit bigger machine. It is just under 70 horsepower. There's no def that has to be added to the machine. It has a 2-speed, so the low is about 7.8 miles an hour. High speed gets you to about 11.4. The reach on it is 121 inches high, so it does have a pretty high lift on it. The operating capacity, they kind of rate it two different ways. The one way they rate it at 50%, which is a 2,000 pound weight capacity, and it has a 4,000 pound tipping load on it. Now, those numbers do not include the weight kit in the back. Again, the weight kit isn't huge, so I'm not sure what that's going to add. I would assume it would take the machine up a few hundred pounds to maybe 2,200 and maybe 42 or 4,400 tipping. I'm just guessing on those. I couldn't find that spec on the website. So has a bucket breakout force of 7,300 pounds, and the weight listed on the website was 6,500 pounds, but again, that is without the weight kit, and I'm not sure if that includes fluids, you know, a full fuel tank, the weight of the operator, things like that. So the machine could be pushing closer to 7,000 pounds with the operator and the fluids and things. Again, not 100% sure, but there's just some specs on the machine just to kind of give you an idea of what the machine's capable of. So now let's go ahead and we'll take a look in the cab. So inside here, that actually is a vinyl seat. I thought it was cloth when I looked at the pictures of the machine. I'm very glad it's vinyl because cloth just is so hard to keep clean. They have on these newer models switched to, I mean, there's still the shoulder seat belt, which I like, but they have added the lap bar that comes down as well. This is a hand and foot control machine. I did not want electronic joysticks. I just find that in the future down the road, they seem to get kind of temperamental, and you need a dealership has to log on, I believe, with a laptop to really be able to access and repair any of that stuff. So I tried to kind of minimize some of the electronics. So let me hop in here and we'll show you a few more things. Okay, so we'll drop our lap bar just because. So just kind of looking at this side here, it's got 22.6 hours is all on the machine. Here's our display here. Keyless start, basically just pushing the buttons. We have our throttle here, park. These are the lights. There's a lot of lights on the machine, more than the past models have offered. And then if we jump to this side, we have our windshield wiper and of course a bunch of blank spaces to add options. But this actually does have four-way flashers, which is an option. I think that's for a beacon light, which I don't believe is on there. That's just an indicator, of course, for if you're in the high gear. And then this is a button for your hydraulic quick attach for your bucket. And then, of course, you have air conditioning and heat controls up there. There is an interior light, which they have added, which I find is nice. One of the other things they've added, hey everybody, since this machine does not have a backup camera, it does have a big mirror, which is not quite as good as a backup camera, but it is a fantastic option to help you really be able to see behind the machine. We do have the just, standard Bluetooth type radio system set up here. And then our joystick controls, because it's high flow, we have all kinds of different options here on both of the joysticks here for running different implements, and of course your high and low. And then you've got vents all over the place in the cubby holes, and a lot of storage space down here. Some more vents, more storage space down there on that side, which is nice. So one thing I did forget to mention here as we get into the second part of the video is I did buy this machine without a bucket. I did have a New Holland skid steer bucket from a previous machine, so I just went ahead and put that one on there. This unit could handle a wider bucket. This is just a 66-inch. It's a low profile, deep bucket. I may end up putting a larger bucket on here, but that's just what I had. It saved a couple bucks that way by me doing that. So, but getting into the second part of the video on why there's a New Holland here, not Kubota stuff sitting here. First, I'd like to thank Messick's for helping me with this purchase. They were great to deal with, and that was one of the reasons I wasn't afraid to go back to a New Holland, which for those of you who don't know, this is a CNH product, and the last tractor catastrophe I had was with CNH. I feel that Messick's, although they're 3 hours away each direction, so there will be some limitations, I feel that they will be able to provide quality dealer support for this machine should something happen. I have worked with Messick's in the past, purchasing some things, and they have been very good about sending mechanics up here, to do any little minor repairs or things pretty as efficiently as they can, again, for the distance. So I think that relationship moving forward will be good. So the first reason that this machine is sitting here is, as many of you viewers, the regular viewers know, my plan was to slowly exit the landscaping business and continue to grow the farm, as well as, we have our retail store here where we sell mulch and topsoil. We have the gift shop, we do the Christmas trees, and I was going to be selling some used equipment as well, buying, fixing up and selling some used equipment. sort of in place of that income from the landscaping business. So everything that's happened this year has kind of thrown a wrench into the plans of what we were going to do. So right now I still may end up doing some landscaping work this year. Basically it's, wherever the money can come from to help support us during this time when everything's sort of in an upheaval type mode. So our store has not been open. We have not been considered, an essential business. So things have been a little bit tough. But anyway, so because I was going to exit the landscaping business, I sold the mini excavator because that was, a large payment to be making for, a company, a use that I wasn't going to have for it anymore. And the rubber tracked Kubota skid steer that was here, that had been here on demo, and I had hoped to keep it here permanently. But again, as we made the decision to sort of exit the landscaping business, that would have been another large payment to have. And while the track machine would have been great to have around the farm during wet times, it was just a little bit too expensive to keep as we made the transition, expanding the farm and expanding the retail things. It was just going to be too much to try and pay for. So for a while, I actually have not had a skid steer. The Kubota M4 has been the only loader machine that I've had here for quite a while. I've been looking around at used skid steers. I thought about trying to just lay out the cash and buy just an older used machine, but to try and find anything decent, you're in the $8,000 to $10,000 range. And as anybody who's bought anything used knows, in that cheaper price range, you're going to bring that machine home and you're going to put thousands of more dollars into it, unless you know the person that had it. You get one of those sort of lucky deals, and I never get those. So now I'll be into a machine for $12,000, $13,000. And again, with the way that the economy and things are right now, that is a lot of cash to put out at one time that could be used to pay a whole lot of other bills. So while I really didn't want to finance something, in the short term here, it's cheaper to have a much smaller payment on a machine than it is to lay out that $12,000, $13,000. So that's why I didn't buy an older used machine. I did look for over a month trying to find one, and I just really didn't have any success with that. So why is there not a Kubota machine sitting here? Well, I wanted to go back to a rubber tire machine. In the wintertime here, the track machine that was here, it did well, but it does not compare to a rubber tire machine with chains on it. For those of you who are unaware, our property sort of sits down in a hole, and when we plow snow, we have to plow uphill. And the tire chains, I have big heavy tire chains, really just make all the difference when things get icy or we have a big snow. I know there's other rubber tracks that you can buy that help with the snow plowing on those machines, but to start spending $4,000 or $5,000 on another set of tracks plus the extra payment, it just didn't make sense. It made more sense for me to go back to a rubber tire machine, and I actually would like to get a quality set of steel tracks. Again, for those long-term viewers know I tried to buy a cheap set of tracks and that didn't work out. If I remember, I'll leave a link to that disaster video up above if you haven't seen it. So that's my plan, is to get a set of steel tracks, or possibly they do make rubber tracks that you can put on these machines as well. So it will make the machine a little bit more versatile. So that being said, sticking with a rubber tire machine, I really like the Kubota rubber tire machines, but they have not been out very long. So that doesn't give a whole lot of product on the market. And honestly, they hold their value a little bit more than the New Holland seems to. So the machines that I was finding in the same price range as this machine had 2,000 or 3,000 hours on them with the same options. So it didn't make sense to me to spend the same kind of money on a machine that had 2,000, 3,000 hours on it when I could get this machine with the 3-year warranty coming from a good dealership I mean, you saw it was 22 point whatever hours is on the machine. So that is the only reason there is not a Kubota machine here. Had the machines been out longer and there was more used ones available on the market, I think the prices would be a little bit lower and I might be able to find something comparable in the price range, maybe with 500 hours on it or something like that, and I absolutely would have done that. As you guys know, I'm a big Kubota fan. So that's just sort of an explanation as to why there's a New Holland machine here and not Kubota. I have not gone against Kubota, or I don't hate Kubota or anything. I'm still a huge fan, and I did take a little bit of a chance going back to CNH. I know some of these machines can be a little bit finicky with some of the wiring and things, and I'm hoping that this being a newer one, some of those kinks are kind of worked out. And again, I feel more comfortable working with a dealership that provides very good support. So that being said, that's the end of the video, guys. If you have any questions about the machine or anything, please leave them in the comment section down below. So also I wanted to add here, don't forget to check out our other channel, Little Red Farmstead. I actually bought some equipment. It's not big fancy equipment, but we got 4 new pieces of equipment that I will be doing videos on that channel. There's a link to that channel in the description below. So if you want to see some new little equipment for the farmstead, subscribe to that channel. Also, we have the gardening and all the animal videos is on that channel as well. So if you're interested in those types of videos, please subscribe to that channel. We would really appreciate it. And finally, I would like to add a congratulations to Ed Goslin, Goslin Farms. He's over on the West Coast side. He recently hit the 1,000 subscriber mark. So I just want to say congratulations to Ed. He has been a big supporter to a lot of channels. Ed, I don't know how you have time to do it, buddy, but you really support me, as well as, like I said, lots and lots of other channels. I know that must take a lot of time out of your day, and it means a lot to me, and I know the other channels that you support as well. So congratulations on the 1,000 subs. I appreciate everybody watching and following the journey. Stay tuned because there's going to be lots of great videos coming up. Like I said, we have the cultivator project coming up. We're going to be putting this machine to work pretty soon, so there's going to be some videos seeing what the capabilities of this machine is. Lots of great stuff coming up, so please hit the subscribe button. Don't forget the thumbs up. Thanks for watching, guys, and I hope to see you on the next video.